Haven't got the time. I have no skill when it comes to editing videos. I'm afraid of speaking in public. I'm worried people are going to laugh at me. I'm a slow reader. Excuses, excuses, excuses. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark, and I hope so much you're all doing very well. So today I thought I would make a video for you on why you should start a BookTube channel if you are so inclined. You know, of course it's not for everybody, but there are tons of people who just comment and watch BookTube and then they say things like, I've often thought about starting a channel, but I don't know if I can do it. The answer is very simple. You can do it. There are those excuses at the beginning, but we all have to juggle our time somehow, and you just work out the best schedule for posting videos and making videos that suits you. Nobody has to be like a Steve Donahue, for example, and post 15 videos a day. You can post 1 video a week, 2 videos a month, something like that. It doesn't matter. If your motivation isn't to become BookTube famous, then it really doesn't matter how often you post your videos. When it comes to things like you're worried about editing, believe me, there are loads of people out there who can't edit, who are absolutely rubbish when it comes to using technology. I very rarely edit. In fact, I do put stuff in my videos, that kind of editing, but I don't edit out all the ums and ahs. Personally, I think it's charming, and I'm sure people like it, so I keep it in. You're afraid of public speaking. Well, you're not actually publicly speaking, are you? You are speaking to yourself. And I've heard stories about people who are nervous, or feel self-conscious about speaking to themselves, so they ask a friend to video them, as they get started and that kind of thing. Personally, I have no issue speaking to myself or speaking to my dog Elvis. It's not a problem. I'm always talking to myself, so I thought I might as well just record it. Another thing, people might worry they have limited access to books and things like that and not be able to maintain a steady stream of things. But I think, there are lots of ways around that. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. You can go to your local library. You can get a lot of books online, both from legitimate and illegitimate sources, should you so need to. I'm certainly not condoning that thing, but, people do it. So there's always ways for you to find reading material if you need to, and find that material and stuff to talk about. You worry about, of course, if people are going to watch you, are you going to be able to build an audience? I think it's kind of organic. You will appeal to somebody. Maybe not everybody, but you will appeal to somebody. And those are going to be your people. The people who want to watch you are the people you generally want to build your community around. And community is a massive part of why you should think about starting a BookTube channel. It's a wonderful thing. I have had the best time in the 2 years that I've been doing this, and I've met some amazing people. Sadly, not met them face to face. Had I been living somewhere else, maybe I would have done. I certainly would have made the effort to. I'd love to go shopping with, book shopping and hang out with a lot of my BookTube peeps, as the lingo is, I believe. And, you may find that when you watch a lot of these BookTube newbie tags, I've noticed this. People start their BookTube channels because they feel like there's a lack of people in real life for them to discuss books with. And in this way, you can do it. You can do it in a nice way. You read your book, you want to talk about it, you talk about it out onto the internet. Another reason I suppose people think maybe they won't do it is because they feel they'll be laughed at, or they're afraid, as I said, of speaking publicly. But there are ways around that. No one's going to really laugh at you. And the type of people who do it are not going to be real BookTube people anyway. It's just going to be some mindless troll or whatever who happens to just come across your channel and decides to, hide behind their keyboard and say something unpleasant to you. But you shouldn't let that get to you. Everybody's experienced it at some point, and to be honest, touch wood, at least in my experience, it's been pretty rare. and you just ban them, block them, whatever, kick them out. Don't let them look at your channel anymore. Jobs are good. And so I think if it's something you considered, you should go for it. BookTube needs you. It really does. There are loads of booktubers out there. You might think, the whole BookTube sphere is saturated. It really isn't, I don't think. There is enough there for everybody. It's a wonderful, welcoming community. And plus, I think it will also aid in some form of personal development as well by doing something like BookTube. If you are somebody who lacks confidence in public speaking, this is a sure way to build up that confidence and to get better at it, which of course is going to help you in your real life anyway. You will develop better your communication skills. Most people will do that. I know sometimes I'll be like, but nobody cares. If we're having a real conversation, people are gonna and ah, people are gonna say, that kind of thing. And this is what BookTube is, really. It is a conversation between like-minded people. Yeah. I knew nothing about it when I started my channel 2 years ago. I didn't even watch BookTube. I thought I was going to be something different, because every time I looked about books on YouTube, I came across, and I've said this before numerous times, I come across kind of teeny bopper YA people, really good looking people who, I would say it's a bit suspect if some of them have actually even read a book in their lives, but I'm not going to, I just said it, didn't I? So there you go. You see, I'm fluffing up now, but I don't care because I know you don't really care. The people who watch me because they like the way that I do things, and people are going to like the way you do things as well. It's not something you should be afraid of. The hardest thing, I think, from my own experience of doing this, is one, perhaps coming up with video ideas on a regular basis, but you'll find there's a lot of repetition on BookTube. You will see videos talking about what's better, physical books or ebooks, DNFing books, the most disturbing book I've ever read, or the top 10 best books I've read in the bath. These kind of things. They're just repeated, but nobody cares because they're different for every channel, right? My reasons for DNFing or not DNFing a book are going to be different to Sean D. Stanfast's reasons, for example, or from another bibliophile reads reasons. We're all going to have different reasons, and we're all going to be able to talk about the same topics in our own unique ways, and you will as well. So don't worry about it. It's such a wonderful, wonderful hobby. All those excuses and things I said at the beginning, I do believe are excuses. Now, there will, of course, be some of you who will be absolutely petrified of getting behind a camera and doing something like this. But you don't even have to be on the camera, do you? I mean, you can hide yourself. You could wear a monkey suit, or you can just film the books that you're talking about and show your hands or whatever. You don't need to actually, present your lovely face to the world. Obviously mine's far too lovely to keep hidden. So, everybody wants to see what's happening with my hair today. And as you can see, it's just getting crazier and crazier. I still haven't managed to get it cut, though it is hopefully going to happen at some point this week. You wouldn't think it'd be so difficult, would you? Now you see, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm not stressing about it. I'm not going to edit it out. I'm just going to leave it there because, again, it's charming. People are going to like your foibles and your eccentricities, and they are going to find you. The right people for you will find you. You may start off in a particular community because you're new, and you might start chatting with other people who are new, and that will be your starting community. And then you'll either stay with them or you'll grow apart and whatever and find your ideal place within this wider community. I don't talk regularly with all the same people I talked to at the beginning. Sadly, it's just the way things happen. It's like in life, you don't always, when you started a new school or started a new company, you might meet people first off and you think, yeah, they're really great. And as you settle in, you get, you have a couple of nights out or whatever, and you meet somebody from a different department, and suddenly, that's your new, social circle. And I think BookTube is just like that as well. And when it comes to the time and effort you have to put into it, okay, it does take a certain amount of time and a certain amount of effort. However, I think the rewards and what you get back is absolutely worth it. When you can just message somebody in another country and you don't have to talk about books. You could talk about anything. You've made genuine friends all around the world. And to me, that is absolutely wonderful. It's what, in some ways, I think, without maybe being too hyperbolic, I think is what life should be like. We don't need... So often, people are worried and focused on the differences between each other, and this is showing how a love for a particular thing, in our case, books and literature and this kind of stuff, has brought together a big number of people, a large number of people from all corners of the world, all different social classes, educational backgrounds, races, genders, whatever, and yet they are united in this love. Now, of course, you will know, and if you watch BookTube regularly, there are, of course, disagreements and falling outs from time to time, but I would say 90% of the time, they're not irrevocable. People start speaking again. They temporarily fall out. Just because somebody said to me they didn't like Three Men in a Boat, I may be a little bit upset for 5 minutes, but I'm not going to actively seek that person's destruction and downfall. Well, no, I'm not. So if you sit there thinking, gosh, I wish I could do that, or I'd really like to do it, but no one will watch me. These are the thoughts that almost I would wager most of us have had when we sat there contemplating making a channel. We probably had false starts. We probably thought, today's the day. Oh no, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. Like many things in life, the easiest way to learn something is just to do it. And as you do it more often, you learn from your mistakes, you learn from the experience you have. Experience is a wonderful teacher. And you can see it. You can see if you watch, if you've watched somebody throughout their BookTube career over, say, the course of even just a year or even a few months, you will see that progression. It's easy to see from, the deer in the headlights first video to 2 years later, video number 400 and something or other, still a little bit deer in the headlights maybe, but it does wonders for your confidence. It makes you feel part of something. It really makes you feel part of something in the way that perhaps, while we become close to our subscribers and commenters, of course, there's still a little bit of the outsideness, yeah, because they're not doing the whole hog, as it were, for want of a better word. And I think that feeling of being part of something makes you feel good. It sounds very simple, but it really does, and when you get comments and people tell you that they appreciate what you do, and I had some lovely comments yesterday, for example, in one of the videos I did, and it's moving, and it's humbling as well to think that actually there are people who care about what you want to say about things, who respect your opinion about things, who actually listen to what you say. You can, in some small degree, have some influence on whether somebody is going to perhaps pick up a book. They might say, oh, Mark thinks it's rubbish. So, he's the kind of guy who likes the things I like, so yeah, maybe I will as well. Though I do think, of course, you should always make up your mind for yourself. But, you know, I do understand that you don't want to waste time maybe reading things that are not for you, so you can let some of us, you know, take that, take one for the team, as it were. But honestly, you know, I'm not, the goal of this is not to push people to do it. It's just to encourage those of you out there who are thinking to yourselves, oh, I really would like to do it, but there are these reasons I can't. Is that if you're honest with yourself, those reasons are just not good enough, probably, and that all you need to do is just make your first video. My first video, I didn't even introduce myself. I didn't even tell anybody what my name was, for goodness sake. And I think, you know, I just came on and talked about a book that nobody really cared about. But as you go on, you make your video, you start commenting on other people's videos, you do something like the BookTube newbie tag, you will be found. It may take a bit of time, but, you know, you're not doing this solely for the purpose of getting thousands upon thousands of followers. You know, most of us will never get probably much more than 1,000 subscribers, or some of us may not even get over 500 or 300 or 200 or whatever. It doesn't matter, because even if you have one subscriber, that is one person, unless of course, like, you know, in the beginning it was like my mom or, you know, whatever, but there's still one person out there who cares enough to watch your videos and cares about what you have to say about things, and that makes it worthwhile in itself. Anyway, it's just my thoughts on trying to encourage you guys out there. Do I have to say guys and girls, or can we use guys for everybody? I mean it for everybody. I'm all inclusive. We're all inclusive here at Book Time with Elvis, you know. So, yeah, that's it. That's it. I leave it with you. You know, don't procrastinate. If it's something you're physically able to do it. Join us. BookTube needs you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.